Hi guys, Rene here and welcome to the workshop. Today I'm going to talk about my time trial bike and the latest setup updates that I've made to it. And they're quite obvious even on the first sight. So what really is this new cockpit? So ever since I went to the wind tunnel in January for some aero testing with Aero Coach, I wanted to get my hands on a pair of custom extensions, but I didn't really have the time and resources to design my own pair. So I kind of left that float for a little bit. And then not so long ago, Wattshop have announced their new product. They were already making full custom extensions, but they've announced their new range of so-called standardized extensions. So what this product actually is about? Well, generally speaking, if you want to adhere to the UCI's rules and you want to adopt a modern time trial position, maximizing the 10 centimeter elevation above the armrest, you don't really have all that many options because just mathematics won't allow for that. And they realized, based on their inquiries of custom extensions, that really you don't really have that many options, and basically every single rider going for this way to match the UCI's rules is ending up with very similar numbers. And I found that quite interesting, and I inquired about this product too. Grant from Wattshop has kindly helped me out with some details, and then I realized that basically my setup is more or less identical. So I decided to go for this cockpit. The reasons behind this are, well, if you remember my previous setup, it wasn't the cleanest looking thing. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you have your position fixed, anything that is adjustable is more or less redundant. And of course, having those round extensions quite far away from your hands, and also I had the huge cups under the armrests and the not so clean spacer arrangement just weren't too aerodynamic in my mind. So these extensions are completely formed around the 4 centimeter maximum maximum section rule of the UCI, and they are available well in this size. As I said, designed to maximize the elevation rule, and you can mount them to pretty much any bike. Like on mine, this is a track speed concept. Of course, still you get a base plate that's basically custom drilled to match and position your extensions to where you want them to be relative to your bottom bracket. So those are the measurements you're going to need to take, and then you get the extensions themselves plus the matching base plate to fit you on your current setup. You also get a Garmin/Wahoo mount of your choice. This, though, I'd like to note, is not the final product, so this will get more refined. Same as the armrests, which are also included in the package. But soon I will receive the updated version, which allows for a narrower position. This one is not quite final yet. And of course, the aerodynamically shaped extensions, which are beautifully made, 3K carbon weave, very comfortable. And yeah, even though they're not custom sized, they put me in the exact position thanks to the base plate that I had before. The other thing, and I would say the most trick thing about this setup, as you can see, I've changed the shifter arrangement from clicks to blips, and I have these weird looking plugs at the end of the extensions. Now, why is this? Previously, on my previous setup with the round USC extensions, I was holding the bar basically 2 fingers above. Then I measured it a little bit more, and to be on the safe side, I cut them even more to hold them with 1 finger and that's not very stable or comfortable, but it was the best for my aero position. With these, however, as you can see, these hooked plugs for the ends, they don't really add any height or not much at all, just a couple of millimeters, which you can always trim down from here. Now there's thick foam in there, so it's bang on. And these allow you to actually hook your fingers in the end, which enables you to run a much higher hand position without sacrificing any comfort or stability in this area. So very, very neat little trick indeed that the Wattshop team have been using on the track. Now the complication comes on the time trial bike, or the triathlon bike for that matter. If you want to actually be able to shift with this setup, if you're on Shimano, then probably a set of sprint shifters will do the job. What I had to do there with my SRAM setup is to ditch the clicks, of course, which I didn't really like that much anyway, because they are too easy to engage, so many times I shifted accidentally. The blips are on the other hand, on the other side, they're a bit too hard to engage, but that's not so much of a big deal. So anyway, I drilled holes, so I'm able to route the cables internally, and I've glued on these two little blip buttons underneath, so this way I can shift with my little finger while I'm in my aero position, not really having to deviate from it at all. This is not really a final setup as well. If I find this to be the perfect spot and the perfect length, maybe I need to trim it a little bit, so I'm on the safe side of the rules again. Then I can put a large diameter shrink wrap and just shrink wrap them on. This will also cover the holes that I've done for the cables, so it should be a bit cleaner. The Wahoo mount, as I said, is going to be modified too, to be a bit more sturdy. This one is a bit wobbly, but with the final production version of these units, you'll get the finalized version, which is not wobbly. I'm going to receive that next week, hopefully. The mount itself attaches to the left arm with a Torx bolt, and basically the whole installation process is very simple, depending on your bike, of course. You got two large Torx headed bolts from underneath coming in through the base plate into the extension, and as you can see, the whole setup now is pretty damn clean, and it also shaves around 200 grams from my old clunky setup, which is not that important, admittedly, on a time trial bike, but still, it's a nice thing to have. And most importantly, probably, it should save somewhere in the region of 10 to 15 watts at 50 km per hour, which is quite a significant saving. Obviously, I will not be able to verify that until my next trip to the wind tunnel. What I have found and possibly can make me faster is, again, thanks to the hooked extensions or the extension plugs, I can basically pull on these quite hard, and this allows me to pull my head closer to my arms, which creates a smaller profile, which with the casque helmet is a good thing because it's designed for those low head positions for the track. And basically I can go into such extremes that I can touch the brow of the helmet to my hands like this, so that should be pretty damn fast. Okay, so this is the new front end of my time trial bike. I got one more quite interesting aero mod from Wattshop that I'm going to show you in the next video, and of course I'm still waiting for my final set of Air Coach carbon wheels, which are going to be super fast, and then my setup is basically complete. Of course, not counting the bottle cages, those are only for training, and then I won't have too many time trials left this year, but I want to do a nice little project just to test my own ability, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to see more about other bikes that I use and build, then don't forget to tune into the channel and subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching.